Let's get into it. Now, U.S. Navy said.
Okay, so listen. I know you guys are going to call me nuts. I think the U.S. government was trying to kill something in the ocean. I think the reason they set off that bomb was because whatever it is, it scared the shit out of them. And they're like, we cannot let this thing get to land, right? First of all, there's no reason to detonate a 40,000-pound bomb. We have scientists. They can calculate the impact of that blast, right? On top of that, all the ocean life and stuff that they destroyed just by doing it. The oceans are supposed to be protected now, right? But in the face of all of that, they detonate this bomb. And then all of a sudden, a few hundred miles away.
All right, so this part two to I think what I titled the first one was point 40,000 pounds of pointlessness or 40,000 pounds of foolishness. It was something like that. But this is part two. Now, I already said everything. Not the part that they're scared of something that's in there and they try to kill it. The part about like why would you do that in the first place? There's life down there. We have scientists. And I said, the sheer physics of that is what caught my eye when I watched that explosion. Now, I say all of that to say this, like this is not I don't, this ain't no internet conspiracy type, and I hate to use the word conspiracy, but I'm not doing this to harp on whatever it is down there because we know, we understand, those of us that read. I only say that I'm only doing this video for edification to show the vastness of the Heavenly Father, because far too long, those of us that grew up in the Christian church, the Heavenly Father and His Son Yahweh Shai, so Yahweh Yahweh Shai, have been put in a box, and it's just about material things and uh, and prosperity, and just accept Jesus into your heart and you good. You can act a plumb fool and a jackass Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday, and then Friday Eve to Saturday Eve, you uphold the Sabbath, so called, if you're a 7 day Adventist, and then you just go back to being the asshole that you were the rest of the week. No change, no fruits, no nothing. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the seals on this book have been loosed. And you can see how like there are so many things that we don't know. They set off a 40,000-pound bomb, but they've only explored, they say 3%. So since they say that they've only explored 3%, we can narrow that down to about a quarter. So a 0.25% of the ocean is what they know. The same thing with DNA. I can't remember the dude's name that developed the double helix, but he pretty much said that everything else was just junk DNA. So they knew a percentage, they knew a small percentage of what certain things did in the body, and then everything else, because he didn't know, they just labeled it junk DNA, and that's what this that's what this devil does. All right. So I went and pulled up some other scriptures about Leviathan, because as soon as he said they're trying to kill it, we can't let it get to land, I was like, Leviathan. That was the first thing I heard. So we're gonna go to Job 40. Or is it 41? Dang. I know Leviathan is in 41, but is it Job 40 as well? Let's see. Oh, it's 41. Oh, 40. So we hit 40 and 15 through 24 first. All right. Behold now Behemoth, which I made with thee. He eateth grass as an ox. Lo, now his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar, till the sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of Yahweh. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. Wait, hold on. Life in the shady trees. That's not what I'm looking for. That's a behemoth, so I guess that'd be the land version of it. So we're going to go back to 41. All right, this is what we want. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord, which thou lettest down? So can you fish it out? Hell no, you can't. Can you get a hook in that thing? No, you can't. Canst thou put a hook in his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? So will he be agreeable? Absolutely not. And they thought that and if this is the case, that they are trying to kill a Leviathan, because I'm pretty sure there are many. If that was something, if we're banking off, if there's something that they're trying to keep from coming to land, you can't, because the Heavenly Father willed it. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to offset prophecy any way they can. But you can do nothing to this truth or to against it, but only for it. So when it comes time to turn us into the face of terrorism, or whatever they want to do, when it comes time to try and stopping these things from popping off, stopping whatever is coming this way, you can't. Whatever you do, it'll just prolong it, but at the end of the day, it'll be to your detriment. All right. Verse 5. Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? So will you keep it as a pet and try to, as a trophy? No. That's why your ass throwing 40,000 pound bombs in the ocean. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down, even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up, who then is able to stand before me. We're going to scroll down and get some other stuff. Let's see. Who can discover the face of the garment? Here we go. Verse 15. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no, how do you say that? Array? Air? Oh, no air. Slack it. No air can come between them. So if air can't get between it, that means your explosion or your missiles or any kind of weaponry that you think that you have to battle against this thing, it's not going to work. Let's see. Out of his mouth goes burning lamps. That's verse 19. And sparks of fire leaped out. Out of his nostrils goes smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breast kindles coals, as a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remains strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together, they are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid, by reason of breaking they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. Let's get that. I want to see what that means. Habergeon. I don't know how to say that, so let's see. Uh, 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 uh. Come on. Let's see. Oh, it's in Exodus too. All right. Is it the same one? H8473. Okay, so let's get the one where it actually is. H. I can't get to it because it's doggone ad. Alright, whatever. Where do we leave off at? Now I done lost my place. So verse 26. Alright. From the original sense of tuning a corset. A breastplate. Okay, gotcha. Alright, so it's like a breastplate. Alright. Verse 28. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth, and shaking of a spear. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. So what it look, man, regardless of what they were doing down there, we know that because it's in the Bible, it is real. And I'm sure there are many types of Leviathan. There are some large and there are some small. But at any rate, you can't stop the beast hating the whore and burning her with fire. You can't stop that. You can't stop anything that's impending that the prophecy has set, because we understand that his word doesn't return unto him void. It's crazy, man. With the form of a sea serpent. All right, it references several books in the Hebrew Bible, Psalms, Job, yep, as we read, and in Isaiah, it's like it, Isaiah and Amos, so you can read all of those. Dang it, there we go. That one. Actually, let's go here. Let's see if we can. Well, you see them tight scales? Wait a minute. Let's see what caused that. But you see that? As soon as I read about Leviathan, that's the first thing I think about, man. Something just to kind of put a face to a name. Now, do we know if it's actually going to look like that? No, not until the time comes. But for right now, if you can put a face to a name, look at that right there. It's all right, man. With that being said, call hello, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule well. Peace, mercy, blessings to the sincere Akim and Aqua for doing this thing wherever you are at and whatever your lot may be. I pray that you were edified. And again, read up on that the things about the Leviathan, man. There's something else that you can add to your arsenal when knowing these scriptures. Because, like I said, this Bible is vast. These scriptures are vast, and ever you can always learn something. There's it's living waters, as it says. All right, so shalom.